Yeah, I did it. Pink eyeshadow to set my concealer. I did it. I like it. And I'm also demoing while I'm here my Sticky Little Secret. I'm using their melting spray and demoing it out with my new RPG show wig. I love it. I think it's so cute. That's the spray now. So we're gonna see how this baby looks, if it really melts like it says it does, which it does. I mean, it does, but I want to show you guys. So yeah, I'm using my little Sticky Little Secret, the elastic band that comes with the package. I got the whole bundle because I want to support my girl. I really do, actually. That's why I did it. And we're gonna head right into this makeup recreation. I'm just spot concealing right now and then blending it in with my Real Techniques 402 brush. But don't you just love this style of makeup? And what I love about attempting this look is trying to think as if I were in the early 2000s as a black woman. So definitely white powders. I feel like there probably wasn't a lot of powders that matched our complexion, so they worked with what they had. And so I'm using my translucent white pressed powder from Vapor, and I'm setting it in with my Milk Hydro Grip spray before going in with my foundation. Since I'm using a medium coverage concealer as part of my base, I'm adding a more fuller coverage foundation to balance out the medium coverage of the concealer because I want a full coverage look that looks like skin. And I'm also keeping in mind that at this time, you're on set. Therefore, it's ideal to have more mattified makeup as opposed to more stark, contoured type of makeup looks that are oily or dewy. Why? Because of studio lights. A lot of the lighting will reflect off of things that are oily, but when it's matte, it tends to present better on camera and last longer for long set days. For Raven's character, her makeup has pops of color in it, and the eyes, there's bright under eyes, obviously. So, I'm setting my under eyes with my traditional setting powder, but I'm not gonna bake yet. I just want it to look bright. Here's where I started adding pink eyeshadow. You can kind of see tapping and pressing it into specific places. I don't know why I did it. I just thought it would make it look more soft and feminine. And then I'm gonna apply this powder from Vapor. It's a setting powder. I tap the excess on the back of my hand as you saw me do before, and then I kind of just frame the powder around my eyes the same way it looks for Raven's face. It kind of looks like angel wings around her eyes, so I framed it in a similar pattern. And for the eyes, I fill in with a sharpened brown pencil. Pencils are great for adding in hairline strokes, and then I go in with a shadow to kind of fill in the gaps a bit better. A brownish shadow that matches your natural hair color is super good for filling in gaps. And then I'm taking my medium coverage concealer, tapping off the excess on the back of my hand. Oop, I want to know the full coverage now, okay. And then did one straight line that was soft and blended it downwards towards my eyelid. And again, I did one fluid line of concealer in an upward motion, almost slanted, to create that sharp arch for a firm structured brow, and then blended the concealer down into my eyelids. As for the top of the brow, I notice it's a bit rounder, so I'm just shaping it with concealer to round off the top edge of the brow. I thought my brows were a bit too dark, so I get a lighter eyeshadow to kind of just lighten up the inner corners, and then a darker shadow to kind of fill in the outer edges of my brows. And I'm basically using this shadow to kind of get the shape that I want. And so what I appreciate about this is being able to just go back and get the shape right, doing one stretch of concealer and really making sure that it's slanted up towards the arch in a diagonal manner, yet curved at the outer edge of the brow. It just made a difference. And then buffing it out with the buffing brush, I think helped it look more like freshly done brows, as opposed to super blended out concealer that you couldn't tell the brows were done, if that makes sense. It didn't look like they tried to do too much to over highlight the brows. And then I'm just setting it with an eyeshadow that matches the color of my concealer. And yeah, it looks pretty good. So now I'm going to add in a white base. I like using a white cream base and blending it with my crease brush. It helps because we're going to be doing a pop of color, a blue color, so white is better than my traditional concealer. I then set it with setting powder and Then use my buffing brush to buff the crease, which is so opposite. I should have buffed out the crease first before setting it because now it's not going anywhere, but that's fine. I'll add color and make it look super soft, don't worry. And I'm just trying to find the perfect blue to match the color because it needs to give Raven, really it needs to give Raven Baxter. The way my method is just mixing different blues from a bunch of my palettes and seeing what happens. Trusting, I believe it's called the M451 brush from Morphe, but I'll probably just put the correct eyeshadow brushes in my description so you know. Her eyeshadow is kind of like a cerulean blue. I don't know if I said that shade name correct, but my priority right now is just making sure the edges of the eyeshadow are soft, so I may go in with a dark color to soften the eyeshadow's edges a bit. So these are the blues that I used. I used that darker blue and all of these other blues, and I noticed that it needs to be smoked out a bit, so I'm going in with that dull brown now and smoking out the eyes so it's softer around the edges and more, dramatic. And it kind of went off kilter a bit, so then I realized, okay, let me soften that with a transition shade so that something just to like not make it look so smoky. And then I decided, you know what, like I think this needs to actually look less bright than what it actually looks like. Raven's makeup, it was a soft pop of color, so I just decided to go in with a veil of brown now to soften that blue that was so bright, and I think this is more close to her picture. Now I lifted my wig band and added foundation, my foundation stick, and blended that in, and then added a touch of concealer as well, just to make sure the makeup is like more seamless and it doesn't have a line of demarcation anywhere. Then I'm gonna add okay, I got the melting spray on me, but it's alright, I removed it with the cotton cloth. Okay, so now that that's done, I'm going to use the white pressed powder to press in my bake into my skin, again, around the same areas I saw Raven's makeup had that white cast. And then I'm going to go in with this beautiful blush. It's a terracotta orange color, and I noticed her cheeks had that flush of like orange to her, but also her forehead too. Do you see it on her forehead? Because I do. So I added blush to my forehead. And then I set my blush with my bronzer to bring color back to my face. A lot of color back to my face, actually. So I put it around my chin and my cheeks. And then I'm now trying to find the right kind of color for my lips. So I figured I needed a flesh tone brown liner, which is my BFF3 liner from ColourPop. And I'm going with my dose of colors, trying to see which color would match the vibe that Raven has going. I think I got something close to it. These are matte liquid lips, and I love it when it's matte, but hers definitely had gloss, so I go in with my NYX gloss to kind of just match what I saw in the episode, though the screenshot doesn't really do it much justice. And now I removed my wig band, and I'm brushing out the edges with the edge brush that I got also from My Little Secret. No, My Sticky Little Secret. Yep, that I got from My Sticky Little Secret. Once I brushed out the edges, I'm now brushing out the unit, and as you can see, the lace is definitely super melted, but I just wanted to keep doing my makeup because I noticed the gradient from white to orange was too smooth. Like hers was a stark from the white under eye straight into the orange, so I added more blush just to get that more accurate. And then I set with my pressed setting powder from Vapor. It's the off-white cream toned powder, the pressed powder, again for that under eye effect. And now the final touches. I'm mixing my Vapor off-white setting powder with my finishing powder from Chanel to give a final veil over the entire look. And there you have it. We are done. It is complete. Let's set with my setting spray from Milk and work on this hairline, honey. I'm going in with my favorite color from my eyeshadow palette just to get that hairline together. It didn't need much, as you can see, and I love it, as you can see. I think this look took like 2 hours. How do y'all think I did? You think I did her justice with the under eye and the blue shadow and the brows? It feels like pretty modern Raven to me, you know what I mean? But still honoring 2000s. Okay, and now the wig. Look at the wig, how it's laid, honey. Child. I don't even do frontals. But I'm gonna do them now. Look at this. It looks so good and I love the colors. So we'll do a little close-up for you. Yes, ma'am. And then you can tell after 4 hours, this is the 4 hour mark, the hairline held up pretty well and the makeup looks so nice. I prefer it actually at this mark. Hour 8, however, is a little bit patchy as you can see, likely because we used pink eyeshadow to set mixed in with setting powder. But overall, definitely a success. Let me know whose makeup you want me to recreate next, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.